You're listening to Mad Men Sports, a Buffalo Bills podcast from the fans' perspective. I have to say we're both passionate and casual. To my right, we have Zach, and to my left, we have Diamond Dave.
What up?
How you boys doing tonight?
Fantastic. Another great day in the city of Buffalo. Humidity finally cut away, and the temperatures are becoming comfortable. Great weekend here.
More importantly, training camp starts in 5 days.
Can't wait. Big Thursday release here. Jake, what do you got?
Oh, so yeah, I mean, why not just jump into it? We have some headlines. I mean, we're getting into training camp.
It's ramping up. The content's creating itself finally.
Thank God we got some Madden ratings, which I think we should start talking about.
Yeah, that was big news this week, Jacob, wasn't it?
Yeah, so let me pose a question to you guys. Have you guys seen any of the Madden ratings?
No.
I lightly saw them. My biggest Madden rating that stuck out for me was throwing power, how Josh Allen was number 1, which he probably should be. Number 2 was Patrick Mahomes. And then right behind Patrick Mahomes was Tyree Jackson, the practice squad wonder, hopefully, right?
Is Pat Summerall still doing the commentary for that?
No, I'm really not sure who does the voices anymore, honestly.
Yeah,
it's not John Madden and Al Michaels, that's for damn sure.
I think it's irrelevant at that point, but just one little game I want to play in regards to this. I'm going to pick one player for each of you, and you're going to have to guess his overall Madden rating. Sound okay?
I'm good at this. I've been playing Madden since 99, so good luck beating me.
What do I get if I win?
You get a Mad Men Sports coaster. Is that okay?
Great. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Shaq Lawson.
Dave, you go first.
Shaq Lawson. His mental is probably 50.
I don't care about all that. I'm just looking for
This
overall.
is overall. Let's cut
Overall,
this sweet.
Shaq Lawson is going to be 69.
Ooh,
Great answer. But
nice. But I'm going to go with 75. Jake, what do we got?
78.
Oh,
For a backup defensive end.
He's going to be a starter. And it's a contract year. Big year for Shaq Lawson. Who's next?
We have, let's go.
Like the segment.
We're going to scroll down a little
78
bit
is
here.
pretty admirable, I'm not going to lie.
My favorite guy, Lee Smith.
Lee Smith.
What do we have him at?
Oh,
boys?
Daddy?
Daddy.
Daycare?
Yeah.
Jacob's father.
What do we got?
I'll go
56.
first. Ooh, 56.
56. Not showing my man
56 is
enough
way
respect.
too low. Yeah, 56 is way too low. I'm going to go with classic 67 here.
You're not giving him enough respect either.
What? No, 73?
75.
Oh, what? He's the
Yeah.
best
What
tight
is
end on
this?
the
What
team.
is this, blocking 100?
False.
Is he the best tight end on the team?
Tyler Croft's at a 78, so not far behind.
Listen, the most notable thing about Madden ratings for the Bills is that I know that they undervalued a lot of players. To have the second tight end on the Bills be at 75, this is awesome. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, and the thing is with the Madden ratings as well, at least from a Bills fan's perspective, we don't get enough recognition within the league. I mean, our highest rated player is Micah Hyde at an 86. We don't have anyone cracking upper 90s. That's ridiculous.
Let us guess Josh Allen. I have not looked prior to this.
I know his throwing power is a 99, which is awesome. Get to the 100 spot. Remember how big of a deal it was when Devin Hester got his 100 for speed? That was awesome.
All right, so what do you got, David, for Josh Allen?
Josh Allen will be 82.
Wow, I think that might be too high. He's still undervalued everywhere but here.
His leaping ability is 100.
I'm going to go with 77.
Damn, 74.
Oh, they're killing my guy.
Exactly, that's ridiculous. How does it feel that Lee Smith is higher rated than Josh Allen?
Put him under center, baby. Lee Smith is a versatile Swiss Army knife. Let's go.
Perfect. And big news today as well. The Buffalo Bills special, Embedded, is released today.
Oh, I wait all off season
3 hours ago. It's a wonderful production. They did it in 4 parts, and they released it all at once. Last year, they released it in parts. David, I know you're chomping at the bit to say something, so what do you got here, bud?
It's like the PG version of HBO Hard Knocks. I watched the first 2 episodes before we started this, and I'm hooked to go home and watch the rest of the 2. Chances are I'll fall asleep, but I'll watch the rest of the 2 tomorrow.
Sleepy Diamond Dave.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really well. The last part, when they were talking about the OTAs and everything, they brought the... I mean, it's
Oh,
the major...
spoilers.
Yeah, that's fine.
I haven't seen any yet.
I've watched the first 2, and I think everyone will fall in love with Cody Ford. The guy's a straight shooter. He's an offensive tackle, and he will just whoop your ass. He's ready to go. Bills ask an interesting question, actually. They ask, would you rather be smart or tough? And some of the answers they give are pretty good. They asked that in the rookie combine, and some of the answers they give are pretty cool.
But I'll tell you this, Zach. I'm really not giving anything away on the fourth one. It's everything that we expect. It's like the rookie tour, kind of everything you're used to.
Oh, the Niagara Falls, huh?
Actually, they didn't show that. They showed them going to the police station, the fire station. They went bowling.
This is what you'll be in 3 years.
Yeah, keeping lanes clean.
Yeah, I mean that's odd, but I get it. It's a different perspective of Buffalo. They want to make it more of a community-based thing for the rookies, and I like that. So I'm excited to watch Embedded. It's a great series. I think it's interesting because the Bills kind of took it in their own hands the last 2 years, and instead of doing the Hard Knocks thing or the all or nothing thing that Amazon does, they can kind of go to the league and say, hey, we're doing our own thing. We don't want to be a part of those other things. We want to control it in-house. It's a smart move on their part from a PR standpoint. Would you happen to agree, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. It's something that Bills fans seem to be anticipating for half the off season. So it's really well put together. I don't have enough. It kind of gives us an inside perspective. So
And Jake,
like
where can you watch Embedded on?
YouTube, I think it's on the Buffalo Bills website. I think that's really it, right?
Yeah, right when you're done subscribing to us, go to their page and check them out a little bit. Nice little promotion to the Buffalo Bills there. Like they need some.
Exactly, yeah. Let's kind of flip the switch here. The last headline that we have for today. Rafael Bush decided to retire from the game. Do you guys hear about that, right?
Yeah, I'd rather have him retire in pre-training camp rather than halfway through the first game of the season. So this one's a little bit better. I'll take it.
Kind of a surprising move. The guy was a decent backup safety. He filled in. He got us a couple tackles last year. He filled in. The type of position he's in is easily replaceable, I think, though. The Bills have Syrian Neal from last year, and they also picked up Johnson from the draft this year. It's kind of an easily replaceable position, but we also have two very good safeties, and let's just hope they don't get hurt.
Yeah, the biggest thing for safety position is being able to be aggressive. You get a guy like Bush who was aggressive, big hitter. Everyone remembers that huge hit he laid on a guy when he was in New Orleans. You guys remember that at all?
Yeah, Rafael Bush was known as a big hitter.
He brought the lumber. So being an aggressive safety is awesome. Towards the end of last season, we still saw a little bit more of Neal. He brought the lumber a little bit. He was more aggressive on the ball. He had a great OTAs from what I've heard. They picked up a guy almost immediately. I almost wonder if they did that out of courtesy. Rafael Bush decided not to announce his retirement until they were able to pick up a Kurt Coleman, so people weren't freaking out. I don't know. That stuff happens. Mm-hmm. But Kurt Coleman's very, very attached to Sean McDermott because his best 2 seasons of his career were with the Panthers in 2015, 2016. Let me give you a stat line in 2015.
Sure.
He had a combined 90 tackles, 1 sack, and 7 interceptions.
Yeah, 7 interceptions. I have it up right now. That's kind of like, hey, this guy can ball out. I mean,
from the safety position.
Exactly. That's
going to get the ball. That's Jarvis Bird type numbers right there. I'm not going to lie.
That's the year the Panthers were like in the top 7 best defense in the league.
Yeah, they had Josh Norman. They went to the Super Bowl that year. Mm-hmm. I have more news about that later for our Coach of the Week segment. Whoa. Spoiler alert. Yeah, and then in 2016, the year after, he followed that up with 95 combined tackles, 1 sack, and 4 interceptions. So when he's been around Sean McDermott, Kurt Coleman has found a way to excel, and he's going to be able to fight for a roster spot this season. I'm really enjoying that.
That being said, that's the key right there. He's fighting for a roster spot because we already have solidified 2 starting safeties, some of the best tandem in the league. And we also have 2 young players who the Bills think highly of because they've drafted them. So I think Coleman has an uphill climb to make the team.
Yeah, he's going into his 10th season. He'll make the
team on special teams.
Yeah, he's going into his 10th season. And me and Dave came out with an article this weekend that we're going to release tomorrow morning. I guess when you're hearing us today. So we created our preseason, pre-training camp, 53-man roster. And I'm not going to lie, Rafael Bush kind of had an uphill battle to make the team. There's a lot of depth at safety. There's a lot of committed money to some rookies, some guys on the rookie contracts, the rookie deals. There's a lot of talent there. When you have a lot of talent at safety, it's hard to beat that. Now, Kurt Coleman comes into the position with a little bit more, understandably success with Sean McDermott. So he might get an upper hand compared to Bush. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. Go check it out at www.madmansports.com to check out that awesome article that me and Dave came up with. And hopefully you guys agree. If you don't, let us know. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Give us some feedback.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it's a perfect time to release that. I mean, right now is the epicenter of Bills news, so give me all the content you got, Zach.
Absolutely. I mean, training camp starts Thursday. We've been waiting. We've been waiting since January 1st for this stuff.
We talked about turf a month ago.
I think that was 2 weeks ago. It just seems like a month ago because the offseason's been crazy long. So we actually have a new segment that we're going to introduce with Jake. We finally gave Jake a segment. He's been dying. He came up with this awesome idea. It's going to be called Mad Men Percentages. And Jake, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, let me kind of run it down. I'm going to pose not so much theoretical scenarios, kind of things that might happen with the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to need you to give me your percentage chance on whether that's going to happen, or, of course, if you don't think it's going to happen. So let's kind of go right into it. My first question.
A good chance for Zach and I to argue.
Oh, and that's what we're
How
here
unusual.
for. I need to see these two guys argue.
Last week, me and him bickered about two guys that are well over 50 and whether or not they're deserving of a metal statue.
I walked out of the room.
Yeah, he was upset. I'm
We're
surprised
just happy
he's
to have
here.
him back. Yeah, we're happy to have him back.
If we weren't brothers, I wouldn't be here.
I did hear, though, from some listeners, they gave me some direct feedback. Dave won the argument. I'm not happy about that. That might have been Dave's first win on the podcast. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, it still doesn't change the fact
I'm
that
in
he
mid-
thought John Brown wasn't making
I'm in
the team.
mid-season 4, bitch.
All right, Jake. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going, buddy.
No, it's all right. So, our first question. What percentage chance do you give Zay Jones on being the number one wide receiver going into camp?
I'll give Dave the floor.
Well, before I answer that,
Oh, here he goes.
number one is that you always have two receivers starting. So is he on the starting
The
roster?
number one.
and
He's
two
number
receivers.
one.
He said
I'm talking
number one
So
receiver.
best numbers at the end of the year.
I'm just
the
talking
go-to guy
read
on
number
first,
one.
second, third down. Yeah. The hot route.
25%.
25%.
Whoa.
Fourth chance. Yeah.
fourth chance. I like it. Zach, what about you?
Zay Jones. You know, they built a huge rapport towards the end of the season. That was when Josh Allen really flourished a lot. I mean, I can't stop thinking about that missed touchdown in the back of the end zone against Miami. That would have been a huge number game for Zay Jones. Otherwise, it would have been his third touchdown. I'm gonna go with 69%.
Can I defend my
Thanks.
25%?
Sure, go ahead.
As Bills
Gosh.
fans, we should hope and pray that he isn't, because
But he isn't.
we
He's a
should
second-round
hope
draft
we
pick.
should hope Robert Foster is.
You're
Robert
really high on.
He's an undrafted
The end
free
of the year
agent.
Robert Foster had last year was shining. A bright reminder that we might have something with him. Also, Cole Beasley, anyone you talk to, is the pickup of the offseason for the Bills. So you have
Nah,
those.
I think that might be Mitch Morris.
You have those two receivers there. You should hope that we have up and coming with Foster and Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley should be feeding Josh Allen dinner right now at Core Life Eatery. He should. We have these two receivers. Let's do something with them. Zay Jones, I'm okay with him playing, but that's 25% of the passes.
Listen. Zay Jones, we sunk a second-round pick into this guy. They traded up for him. East Carolina University. He's got all these amazing, he had NCAA records, honestly. This is the guy you want as your number one. Now, he's not the biggest physical guy. I get that. I understand that. But as a guy that's coming up with a little bit more safety net in his contract, if you're the Bills and you're a Bills fan and you know what kind of numbers and contracts the wide receivers get, you kind of want Zay Jones to live up to it, have the ability to re-sign him. You don't waste the money he's going to get in his fifth and sixth year or coming up. I mean, he's got some time coming up. There's safety nets for rookie deals. However, you just said Robert Foster, who's an undrafted free agent, who's going to get paid big money if he has a great year this year. Now, I'm not begging Robert Foster to not have a good year. Flourish, go off, King, all that noise. But you want a guy like him to kind of taper off, find a middle ground there so that he kind of matures, and when it's time to give him a nice contract next season, after next season, that is, and you re-sign him long term, it's more of a team-friendly contract, so you can kind of be able to grow and keep your wide receiver course going.
You won the argument for him by saying contract, because what do you pay Zay Jones? If he has a good season, he's going to want top money, and then the Bills fans bicker because he's had 2, maybe 3 seasons of doing nothing. They're just hype.
He had a great season last year with
preseason
Josh
warrior.
Allen.
I'm not saying I'm not a fan of Zay Jones.
He had 7 touchdowns last
I
year.
want a better receiver than Zay Jones, and we might have that on the team with Robert Foster.
You might have that with Zay Jones.
You might have that with Josh Brown. You might have that with.
You hate John Brown. You don't even want him on the
I never
preseason
said I
team.
hate it.
Listen, you might not hate him, but you don't think he deserves to be on the team.
As Jake said, I'm a huge fan of Robert Foster. I'm a huge fan
Everyone
of Cole
should be.
Beasley.
He's
I'm a
a
huge
steal.
fan of McKenzie. You haven't even said McKenzie yet.
Don't say McKenzie.
McKenzie's not.
Yeah, he's not making this team.
But McKenzie's still a bubble player, and you'll find out in a 53-man roster
Listen.
tomorrow. But Zay Jones has had 3 years to prove himself. If you sign him to a major contract, either way, Bills fans bicker. He's had 3 years to do so. He's an average player.
I'm about to rob
Let's
Jake
get
of
someone
this
better
segment.
than him.
Listen, McKenzie's lure last year was that he was able to return the ball. We have
I'm
Andre
not making
Roberts
this about
now.
McKenzie. I'm just
It's not.
saying
You're right. It's
he's
not.
a depth player. I made this about Robert Foster. So the question should be, I think,
Did you say he's a deaf player?
Robert Foster or Zay Jones? Who do you want to depend on more this season?
I want to
and
depend
I
on
would
the
hope
second
people
round
say
pick.
Robert Foster.
No.
Zay Jones has had 2 to 3 years to prove himself.
He's going into his third year. You want a guy like this to have a good year. This is what you want your guy to. You want your second round pick
Zay
to flourish.
Jones doesn't scare any defenses.
I said 69. He said 25.
What's next, Jake?
Go to
This
the
isn't
next.
gonna end
Yeah, it's
well.
not happening.
What is going to happen with this segment as well is I'm going to make my final points on the subject, what I think.
All right, go off, King.
I think Zay Jones, you're not giving him enough credit, David, and I'll tell you why. He has been with this offense. He is the most veteranized wide receiver on the Buffalo Bills. That has to count for something. He has the most experience with the offense. He's kind of integrated with Brian Daboll's offense, and I don't think Robert Foster is sustainable as people think.
Listen, Zay Jones was teaching Kelvin Benjamin, a guy who's been in the league longer than him, routes on the field, on the line of scrimmage last season. He's got the cerebral, and we know he's had his problems, so don't go there. But you know that he's a freak athlete, and he's able to take this team to the next level if he makes enough
Kelvin
leap.
Benjamin's only concern was getting all-you-can-eat fries at Red Robin. He had no other concern on his team, so don't even mention Kelvin Benjamin again on this podcast, or I'll be done.
Fair enough. Jake.
Kelvin Benjamin. All right,
Biscuit boy.
so my second question here is, we know Josh Allen is the starting quarterback going into week 1, but that still leaves 2 positions. Presumably, the quarterback, there'll be 3 quarterbacks on the team. Do we see any quarterback number 2 competition?
I'll kick it off. This was actually a really interesting question, and obviously we weren't posing these ahead of time. But Jake, once you see our article next week, or this week, I guess, you'll understand what kind of conversation me and Dave are about to have, because we argued about second or third quarterback for a long time. This is actually we were trying to cut players, and we were looking for positions where we could maybe trim some fat a little bit. That was another Kelvin Benjamin shout out. But that was another position where we were worried about, and came up with quarterback. So that was like the point where we were like, what's going on here? We got to figure this out. We ended up going with 2 quarterbacks. Spoiler alert.
Really?
Yeah.
We're not keeping 3, huh?
But I lobbied for 3 very hard.
I was a fan of Tyreek making practice squad.
Very hard. You're not keeping a guy like him on practice squad. Someone's going to keep him, stash him, and make him
You
develop.
have him way overrated. You're a Buffalo fanatic. You need to chill with Tyreek Jackson.
I don't know if we can legally say Buffalo fanatic.
Yeah, I'm going to bleep that out.
No, I'm going to go with 75% that we have 3 quarterbacks, just because I think they want to keep them, stash them, and develop them.
Perfect. And let me...
Did I say 75?
Yeah, 75.
I meant
But
75.
the
That
question
might be a
is,
little high, though, listeners.
is there a true competition for quarterback number 2?
No.
No? So 0%.
He's a developmental player, and they're bringing him in, they're keeping him on in order to develop him into a backup once Barkley decides to call it quits. And they have a guy that will be exactly like Josh Allen in every shape and form. Same, like I said in the beginning about the Madden ratings, same amount of throwing power. They want to develop him, groom him into the perfect backup so you could replace him easily, seamlessly, with Josh Allen in case of an injury. Knock on wood right here.
Perfect. Dave, what do you got to say about this?
0 competition. I think that the Bills like the fact that Tyreek Jackson runs. He throws. He has a very good deep ball, which you'll see on Embedded.
Perfect. Yeah, no, definitely. He does.
We live in Buffalo. We saw it at UB.
But I think Tyreek Jackson's just going to be the 4th preseason play-all-game kind of guy. He's just a training camp fodder. I don't have any faith in him making this team. I do think he can make practice squad. I don't think there's a high demand for Tyreek Jackson. I'm sorry to upset Buffalo fans. I don't. But I do have high hopes for Matt Barkley on Embedded, which I'm apparently going to talk about all night.
You said you didn't want to, so that's on you.
Yeah, this is weird.
Him and Josh Allen seem very close, and Matt Barkley seems to be well respected with the team.
He deserves to be.
I'm
He's had
okay
a
with
great
him
career.
being on the team. I think he could be a very good backup. Maybe Frank Reich-esque. We'll see. I'll pump the brakes on that, though. I don't think there's 0. I think there's 0 competition.
He's going with, that's our first 0% chance of this segment. Jake, what do you think about your first 0% chance reaction? I gave you 75, to be fair.
It's an odd one. I mean, and that's fine.
Because there is a chance. I do think there's a competition.
I mean, the only thing that I think will be the reason to why they keep 3 quarterbacks is because they ran into that situation last year. I mean, Josh Allen went down. What's his name? Matt Barkley obviously went down for a little bit too.
No. No, I know what you're
Anderson,
saying.
excuse
so
me.
Peterman went down. Well, they had to yank Peterman.
Yeah.
Derek Anderson went down. Josh Allen went down. I mean, for Christ's sakes, in preseason, A.J. McCarron went down.
Derek Anderson was forced to pay a favor to McDermott, came back.
Yeah, the guy was
He
camping.
had a 6-month concussion.
Yeah. Coach, am I still on the team? Yes, you are, son. Oh, well, I quit. We talked about that for quite a while there. Speaking of talking about that for quite a while, that was a good segment, Jake. I appreciate it. You still have one more.
Oh, hey.
Keep it coming.
Excuse me. Who's running this segment, Zach?
Keep going, buddy.
And that's fine. All right. So, Ed Oliver, guys. Is he going to be a starter, yes or no?
Yes, 100%.
What's your percentage?
100%.
Perfect.
I'm actually going to break the rules. I'm sorry.
Please don't say 0.
I'm going to say 110%. The Bills don't take a guy that high and start him. Do you see Jordan Phillips starting? Do you see Harrison Phillips starting? I see those guys making the team, but I don't see them starting.
Yeah, they're going to be in rotational positions. That's what they do with the defensive line.
I think that Ed Oliver will be the best defensive lineman we have on the team at the end of the year.
Now, Jake, you've broken a record at Mad Men Sports here. You've gone from the first 0% response to over 100% response within the last 3 responses.
I just want you to follow the rules of the game.
Next
0
time.
to 100.
Maybe next week we can better.
Ed Oliver will...
He's absolutely a starter.
Yeah.
So, speaking of starters, that was a great starter segment for your segment. Congratulations, Jake. You finally got your segment. And I love it. I'm in love with it. Cheers to a segment well done.
So here at Mad Men Sports, we all like to end the day with a drink. My favorite is the apple pie moonshine from Black Button Distilling. Zach, what's your favorite drink?
From Black Button, my favorite drink is the 4-grain bourbon. Comes in this beautiful blue bottle. It's a beautiful logo of Black Button, and it's got a great, smooth, full flavor taste.
Perfect. And if you want to go and have a drink, go to the Black Button Distilling Tasting Room in Buffalo. It's on 149 Swan Street, right next to the ballpark. I went in there last week. It has a beautiful setup, a real nice downtown feel. So check it out. So that transitions us to the Black Button conversation of the week. Guys, which brand new Bills player is going to have the biggest impact on the 2020 Buffalo Bills?
I think this might be a kind of a vanilla question, or not vanilla question, more of a vanilla answer by my part. I think Mitch Morse will have the biggest immediate impact on the team right now. Last year, their offensive line was horrid, god awful. When I watch film review of his back, it's terrible. I mean, the guys were just walking backwards, turning around, staring at the quarterback, getting sacked. It was pretty bad. As far as offensive line experiences go, you probably can't get much worse than that. Bringing in a seasoned veteran like Mitch Morse, who had a great season last year with Patrick Mahomes in his first year as a starter, you kind of hope he kind of brings that kind of knowledge and vigor to the Buffalo Bills offensive line and helps Josh Allen read the defenses a little bit. I mean, he better, because he's the highest paid center in the league. I don't know if you guys realize that. We have the number 1 center in the league, pay-wise. So if he doesn't come in and make an immediate impact and get these guys going, he's the leader of the offensive line. He's going to be the leader of the offense when, in terms of reading the defenses and helping out Josh Allen. I mean, he's got to be in his right pocket. Like, if Josh Allen's going to be successful, he's going to need to have a great relationship with Mitch Morse and really help guide him along. So I got to go with Mitch Morse. He's a 26-year-old center from Kansas City, coming in, making an impact immediately, and he better, hopefully. I mean, we really need that to get the run game going, to get the passing game settled, to get Josh Allen's development going, his maturation process in full swing. Mitch Morse needs to be the biggest impact player this season that wasn't here last year. Dave?
I agree. Zach, that's a good answer. I don't agree with you, but that is a very good answer.
Thank you.
Kind of changed my mind a little bit. But my answer...
We're out here winning, baby.
My answer is Kevin Johnson. The Bills picked him up from Houston, and the Bills have had a lot of issues with corners besides Trey White. We've had a lot of guys flopping.
Revolving door, baby.
I think Kevin Johnson's going to seal the deal early in training camp and win the starting job opposite Trey White. And I think those four guys at defensive backfield will be great. Kevin Johnson is a first-round pick from Wake Forest in 2015. He had 2 very good years with Houston after winning the job from A.J. Boye, who is now in Jacksonville as a Pro Bowler. He was out last year with a pretty season-ending injury. He's back with the Bills. They said he looked good in minicamp. He's penciled in right now as a starter. He needs to keep the job after training camp.
Fingers crossed he stays healthy, right?
Oh, definitely.
We also have E.J. Gaines, who we got back on the team, but I don't even think he'll make the team. I think that
save some for the readers, Dave.
I think Kevin Johnson is easily the best pickup on this team. I think he'll solidify the number 2 position, and he'll fly the team. He'll fly in the top 10 defense with the rest of the team.
Absolutely. If you wanted to shore up that defense from number 2 all-purpose yards against to number 1 all-purpose yards, it's not much of a jump, but you really need to shore up that spot that was honestly held down pretty nicely by Levi Wallace and Ryan Lewis at some points last year. Obviously, I mentioned earlier that Vernon Davis left us abruptly after getting smoked and burned in the beginning of the season and preseason. So having a solid number 2 will make this defense fly a little bit tighter. And obviously, of course, it'll help against the big quarterbacks you face this year. You got Baker Mayfield. You got Sam Darnold. Whether we believe in him or not, he's going to be slinging the ball against the Bills twice a year. You got Tom Brady still. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Adding a solid player to the defensive backs will help this defense fly, and hopefully the team will mature and grow continuously. Jacob, I know you're dying to add a player in here. Who's our third player that might have a breakout season impact this year that wasn't here last year?
So, wide receiver was a huge vocal point in the 2019 offseason. It's an easy answer. It's Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley
That's a beautiful answer.
Is a wide receiver built to help so-called inaccurate quarterbacks. He has a large range of motion for such a small guy. He's very forgiving with Josh Allen and his inaccurate completion percentage. Without anything to say, it's Cole Beasley.
That's a great
Another
answer.
good answer.
I mean, he was the go-to guy for Dak Prescott and Tony Romo. Obviously, they both had Des Bryant for a little bit, and of course, the running backs really stirs the drink in Dallas. There, that's Jerry Jones's lifeblood there. But Cole Beasley is an immense amount of, ball of energy. He's energy. He's a top red zone target there. I read a stat this week that when quarterbacks throw to him in the red zone, he is in the top 5 of accuracy percentage completion rate. And that's huge. And he's not a big guy. That means that he's making his routes count, especially in the red zone, to get those touchdowns. I know Dave loves Cole Beasley. Is probably his. I'm here to point out everyone's top player. That's probably Dave's top player on the offense. I'm not gonna lie. Cole Beasley is Dave's bread and butter guy right there. Dave, what do you think about the Jacobs pick here?
You know, he should be getting the ball 10 times a game.
There he is.
They should be.
You know what he's got to get? I'm not going to say it, but you know what he's got to get.
No revealing our secrets right now, but an inside scoop on Cole Beasley, which I won't reveal. He needs to have a relationship with Josh Allen. He needs to be the threat that the defense is game plan for every week. He needs to be, back in maybe 2013, the Cincinnati Bengals had a guy named Ocho Cinco who demanded in his contract that he had 80% of the playbook and 80% of the looks. Cole Beasley should be doing the same thing because Bills need to focus all around Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley is going to be a stud in this offense.
Yeah, and Dave, like you said, if they're planning to neutralize Cole Beasley, that's only going to free up our guys, Zay Jones. It's only going to free up John Brown. It's only going to free up Robert Foster. That's going to make him being a threat and a seasoned veteran with success is only going to help the rest of the wide receivers and their wide receiver room develop and become threats of their own. And it's only going to help Josh Allen be more relaxed. He's going to have a comfortable slot presence that he can just dump it off in times of need. He can trust someone.
I think pump the brakes, but Cole Beasley could be our Wes Welker. Cole Beasley could be our Christian McCaffrey. Cole Beasley could be our everything.
Wow.
Wow, you're going to ask him what on a
Wow, man. He's my everything.
So Lee Smith is my dad, and Cole Beasley
is Dave's
mistress?
significant other.
Jeez.
Oh, wait until you guys hear me talk about it. Never mind.
Oh, no.
All right. Yeah, I think those are 3 dominant players that can immediately make an impact. The Bills had a good offseason this year. I really
on paper.
I really wonder what we will make of this whole thing. It's fascinating. I'm excited. Everyone should be excited. Bills fans, get ready for a great training camp. Get ready for an awesome season. This is our year, honestly. This is a little pump-up speech. We've been taking it in the teeth for a long time. I think, finally, that the Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have put together something that we can be proud of and finally have a vision to build off of. Last year wasn't everything we thought it was going to be. We came off the playoffs. We finally got there. We got a little bit of a downer. We got the franchise quarterback, hopefully. I think they're ready to put the pedal to the metal and make this thing go. They have a pretty favorable schedule this year. I think Jake told us last week it was 24th in strength of schedule. I'm ready. The Bills are ready. Let's make a run at this, fans. Let's get at this.
Can we get Cole Beasley's My Everything shirts made?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
only for you though. But it's gonna be like a
No,
lingerie piece.
we'll
for it.
sell it. We'll sell it.
Perfect.
We'll sell it and put it to a nice cause. So, like I was saying, we're ready to go. These guys are ready. I'm ready for a cheers to a day well done, boys. Black Button Distilling on the corner of Swan Street and Michigan. 149 Swan. Check it out, guys. They're great.
To a day well done.
And as I was saying, you got a dominant coach in a great leadership position. Now, I've been doing this Coach of the Week segment for about 8 weeks now. I skipped it last week because I wanted to line it up perfectly with training camp. I've been waiting to tell this guy's story for a long time. Guys, the Prima Pasta Pizza Coach of the Week is Sean McDermott.
Oh, trust the process.
He's the head coach. He's the lifeblood of this team. He's the guy that claps on every play. This is what I wake up for. Sean McDermott right here. Prima Pasta Pizza on the corner of West Chippewa and Pearl. Check in for their daily lunch specials. Honestly, I had it this week. I try to eat as much as I can because it's awesome. And I treat myself. Got to get a little bit more physical activity in if I'm going to be eating it all the time.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, right? Might as well. So, yeah, come in. Check him out. Say hi to Kevin. He's always polite. He's always at the back pizza oven. Yeah, so let's talk about Sean McDermott a little bit here. Obviously, everyone knows he came here directly from the Panthers. But where did he get his start? Like his big break? His big break came from Philadelphia Eagles. In 2003, he was vaulted into a defensive backs position with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, you guys remember Jim Johnson, famous coach?
Rest in peace.
Yep, exactly. He was under Jim Johnson's tutelage. Obviously, that's where he got everything he knows. Obviously, he knew a little bit, but when you're under, a mentor like that, you really pick up a lot of things. In 2004, he became the defensive backs coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's when Brian Dawkins and Michael Lewis became Pro Bowlers that season. Now that is a hell of a turning stone moment for you when your two starting safeties become Pro Bowlers off the bat. In that season, they went to the Super Bowl. They lost to the Patriots. We know all about that. You know, the Fred Mitchell, Terrell Owens, Brian Westbrook, Donovan McNabb. That team was stacked. Still lost to the Patriots. Everyone remembers that Super Bowl. In 2011, he went to the Panthers. Now this is kind of where everything that is connected to the Panthers started really kicking in here. In 2015, we mentioned it earlier, that defense was stout. He had a great defense. Kirk Coleman was part of that defense. You guys remember that? Josh Norman.
2015.
Anthony Davis. That defense was stacked. They went to the Super Bowl. You hear a crazy stat about the Super Bowl? Now, while they lost, Sean McDermott's defense only let up one offensive touchdown. But his defense only let up one touchdown.
Whew.
Against that Peyton Manning team, probably not a hard task because Peyton Manning had a broken arm at that point. Yeah. Nothing was really bending in that point, but
it looks good on paper.
Exactly. So he made that work. Super Bowl 50. They lost, but not too far after that, came to Buffalo.
It's a lot to process.
Exactly. Came to Buffalo, starting up his third year this season. He's got a 15-17 record, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's not great. But after the season last year, if you have a only -2 record there, you're doing all right. So hopefully Sean McDermott keeps us going forward. Good luck this training camp, coach. And let's get this ball rolling Mad Men sports style, baby.
Hey, the madness. So this is where we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for listening to another one of our podcasts. Find us on madmensports.com. We have a wonderful UFC writer. His name's Dave. Check out his pre-fight predictions. Those are always entertaining. Remember, the guys have a 53-man roster article coming out. Look us up on YouTube. Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And seriously, if you ever have any questions, give us a comment on YouTube. You can email us at madmensports@gmail.com.
Check us out on Twitter or Facebook and Instagram. Jake's been doing a beautiful job with Instagram lately.
Yeah, and we're going to actually be at training camp next week. So check us out on Twitter. We're going to be live tweeting it. We're going to be posting pictures on Instagram. More content from us as well. We're going to be bumping out more content, more film breakdowns as the season rolls along. So get ready for that.
Yeah, we're going to be podcasting way more often, too. I can't wait to talk to you guys even more.
Any questions, any segments you guys like a lot, let us know. Any segments you don't like, still let us know. We're still going to do it.
Yeah, you can't sway us.
Have a great week, guys.
Bye.
Go Bills.